The sun dipped low over the rolling hills of the Amalfi Coast, casting a golden hue across the villa's terracotta tiles. Elena Reyes, now living under the alias Isabella Moretti, stood on the balcony, gazing at the Mediterranean Sea. It had been 6 months since the chaos of Operation Sandstorm had been dismantled. 6 months since she and Amir Hassan, now Alessandro Rossi, had vanished into witness protection. Their days were filled with quiet routines, managing the Jonathan Reyes Faisal Hassan Foundation for International Peace, funded by the $1 million that sparked their fateful encounter. Elena sipped her espresso, feeling a rare sense of calm. No more looking over her shoulder, no more aliases stacked upon aliases. Or so she thought. Amir emerged from the study, his dark hair tousled, a tablet in hand. He had shed the polished billionaire facade, opting for simple linen shirts and jeans that suited their secluded life. "Another donation came through," he said, his voice carrying that subtle accent she had grown to love. "From an anonymous source in Riyadh. We're making a difference, Elena." She smiled, turning to face him. "It's Isabella now, remember. But yes, it's good. Our fathers would be proud." Jonathan Reyes and Faisal Hassan, the CIA agent and the intelligence asset whose friendship had spanned decades and continents. Their legacies lived through the foundation, supporting refugees and diplomatic education programs. Elena placed her cup down, wrapping her arms around Amir's waist. "We've built something real here." But as the evening light faded, a knock echoed from the front door. Unusual. No visitors came unannounced to their gated haven. Amir tensed, his hand instinctively reaching for the concealed drawer where he kept a pistol. "Stay here," he murmured, moving cautiously toward the entrance. He saw a local delivery boy holding a plain envelope through the peephole. No markings, no return address. Amir signed for it, tipping generously, and closed the door with a soft click. Back on the balcony, he handed it to Elena. "For Isabella Moretti," hand-delivered. Her fingers trembled slightly as she tore it open. Inside were 2 faded photographs, one of Jonathan Reyes and Faisal Hassan standing together in Riyadh, 1998, smiles broad under the desert sun. The other, a grainy image of a plane wreckage, the crash that had claimed Faisal and his wife's lives. Scrawled across the back in elegant Arabic script, "Sandstorm is not over. Loose ends will be tied." Elena's blood ran cold. She recognized the handwriting, Khalid al-Saud's, the mastermind who had escaped justice 6 months ago. "It's him," she whispered, her linguistics training kicking in as she translated the note aloud. "He's found us." Amir's jaw tightened. "How? Our identities are ironclad," Director Ellis assured us. He pulled a burner phone from a hidden safe, dialing the encrypted line to their CIA contact. As it rang, Elena paced, her mind racing back to that night in the restaurant. It had started with Amir's arrogant challenge, $1 million to serve him in Arabic. Her fluent response had unraveled his world, and hers. Now, the past clawed back. Director Ellis answered on the 3rd ring, his voice gravelly. "Alessandro? This line is for emergencies only." "It's Elena and me," Amir said urgently. "We've received a threat. Photos of our fathers, a note from Khalid, he's resurfacing." A pause on the line. "Send me scans, I'll run it through analysis." Elena quickly photographed the items and sent them via a secure app. While they waited, she recalled the details of Operation Sandstorm, a decades-long conspiracy to destabilize the Middle East through coups, siphoned funds, and insider betrayals. Khalid had orchestrated it all, using shell companies to amass billions for weapons and mercenaries. Victor Caldwell, now Richard Vaughn in her mind, had been the American link, covering up the plane sabotage that killed Amir's parents as retaliation for the failed 1998 coup. "Confirmed," Ellis finally said. "The script matches Khalid's known samples. Intel suggests he's in Dubai, rebuilding his network. He's targeting the upcoming Middle East Peace Summit in Riyadh. If he strikes there, it could ignite regional war." Elena's stomach nodded. The summit was in 2 weeks, gathering leaders from Saudi Arabia, Israel, and beyond. "What about sarin gas? Our evidence from the gala showed he had caches." "Exactly," Ellis replied. "We've intercepted shipments, but he's adapted, using cryptocurrency to fund new acquisitions. You two need to stay put. I'll send a team. But Elena shook her head, even though Ellis couldn't see. No, if he's sending threats, he knows where we are. We can't wait to be sitting ducks. Amir met her eyes, nodding in agreement. Their bond, forged in fire, meant they thought alike now. Amir spoke into the phone. We're coming back. To New York. Jamal can help from the Falcon Group headquarters. Ellis sighed. Risky, but if anyone can track Khalid's movements, it's you. Jamal's been monitoring chatter. Be careful, Ethan might be compromised. Your old contact, Elena. Ethan, her liaison from the UN days, had helped her vanish initially. Why suspect him? Intercepted communications. He's been in Dubai recently. Could be bought. The call ended, leaving Elena and Amir in heavy silence. They packed light. Passports under new names, cash, the emergency bag with concealed compartments. Elena slipped her small pistol into her waistband, a relic from her fugitive years, one she had hoped never to use again. By dawn, they were on a private jet, courtesy of Amir's lingering connections. As the plane ascended, Elena stared out at the receding coastline. This feels like starting over, she said softly. Amir took her hand. Not over, continuing. We ended Sandstorm once. We'll bury it for good. Landing in New York under the cover of night, they headed straight to a safe house in Queens, the same modest apartment Amir's mother had once owned. Jamal met them there, his face etched with concern. A former Saudi intelligence officer who had defected after Faisal's death, Jamal had been Amir's right hand for years. Boss, Isabella, good to see you alive. But this isn't good. Khalid's activated sleepers. One was spotted at the Falcon Hotel. Elena unfolded the photos again. These aren't just threats, they're clues. Look, the Riyadh background, that's near the old embassy where our fathers met during the coup attempt. Jamal nodded, pulling up a laptop. The 1998 incident. Jonathan saved Faisal by disarming a chemical bomb planted by Khalid's faction. Sarin precursor. If Khalid's circling back to that, the summit could be ground zero for a gas attack. Amir leaned in. We need to confirm Ethan's status. Elena, you know him best. She hesitated. Ethan had been like a mentor, guiding her after she overheard the Sandstorm talks at the UN, but if he was turned. I'll reach out. Coded message. As she typed on a burner phone, weather turning stormy, need shelter. The room filled with tension. Minutes later, a reply. Meet at the old spot. Midnight. The old spot was a bench in Central Park, near the boathouse where they had met Ellis. Amir and Jamal flanked her as they approached under moonlight. Ethan waited, his silver hair catching the lamplight, looking older, wearier. Elena, he said, voice low, you shouldn't have come back. Before she could respond, shadows moved. Two men in dark suits emerging from the trees. It's a trap, Amir shouted. Elena drew her pistol, heart pounding. Gunfire echoed as Jamal tackled one assailant. Ethan lunged at her, but she sidestepped, pressing the barrel to his temple. Why, Ethan? After everything? His eyes filled with regret. They have my family. Khalid, he promised release if I delivered you. Amir disarmed the other man, zip-tying him. Where's Khalid now? Ethan slumped. Dubai, planning the summit hit. But there's more, a mole in Ellis's team. Sirens wailed in the distance. They fled, dragging Ethan along. Back at the safe house, he spilled details. Khalid's new plan involved drones dispersing sarin at the summit's opening ceremony, timed with Eid celebrations to maximize chaos. Elena felt the weight of it all. We have to warn Ellis. But if there's a mole, Amir's eyes hardened. Then we go to Dubai ourselves. End this. As the night deepened, Elena realized their peaceful life was shattered. Shadows from the past had returned, demanding one final reckoning. The safe house in Queens buzzed with urgency as Elena, Amir, and Jamal huddled around the kitchen table. With its faded wallpaper and creaking floors, the modest apartment felt like a relic from another life. Ethan sat bound to a chair in the corner, his head bowed in defeat. The sirens from Central Park had faded, but the adrenaline still coursed through Elena's veins. She holstered her pistol, her hands steady despite the chaos. Amir paced the room, burner phone in hand. We need to contact Ellis again. Ethan's confession changes everything. He dialed the encrypted line and put it on the speaker. Director Ellis's voice crackled through, sharp and authoritative. "Report. I heard chatter about a skirmish in the park." "It's us," Amir said. "We met Ethan. It was a trap. Khalid's men ambushed us, but we captured him. He's talking." Ellis exhaled audibly. "Damn, what did he say?" Elena leaned in. "Khalid has his family hostage. Forced him to lure me out. The summit's the target. Drones with sarin gas during the opening ceremony, synced with Eid prayers for maximum casualties. Hundreds could die, sparking riots across the region." Jamal, ever the analyst, pulled up a map on his laptop. His background as a defector from Saudi intelligence made him invaluable. He had once infiltrated Khalid's early networks under Faisal's orders. "I've been tracking shipments. Precursor chemicals routed through Dubai ports. Khalid's holed up in a compound, funded by crypto wallets we missed last time." Ellis's tone hardened. "This confirms our worst fears. Sandstorm 2.0 isn't just revenge, it's escalation. The 1998 coup failed because Jonathan disarmed that sarin bomb, saving Faisal and exposing Khalid's faction. Now Khalid wants to finish what he started, destabilizing Saudi leadership and drawing in allies like Iran." Amir glanced at Elena. "Ethan mentioned a mole in your team, Ellis. Someone is feeding Khalid intel." A long pause. "Possible. We've had leaks. Ethan was my first suspect, but if he's compromised externally, I'll lock down communications. You three stay low in New York. Jamal, use Falcon resources to monitor Dubai feeds." Elena shook her head. "No. Sitting here is suicide. Khalid knows we're back. He'll send more. We need to go on the offensive." Amir stopped pacing. "She's right. New York's our turf. The Falcon Hotel has back channels to Saudi expats. We can dig into Ethan's contacts and trace the crypto." Ellis relented. "Fine. But use covers. Amir, you're a consultant visiting from Europe. Elena, blend in, maybe as staff again. Jamal, coordinate from headquarters." The call ended. Elena turned to Ethan, her expression a mix of pity and resolve. "Your family, where are they?" Ethan lifted his head, eyes red. "Beirut. Khalid's safe house. If you can get word to Ellis." "We will," Amir promised. "But you stay here, tied for now." Jamal secured Ethan more comfortably and then outlined the plan. "I'll get you new IDs. Elena, you'll pose as a linguistics consultant at the hotel, which echoes how this started. Amir, you'll meet informants in the lounge." As dawn broke, they moved. The drive to the Falcon Hotel in Manhattan was tense, the city awakening around them. Elena donned a simple uniform, her hair pulled back, name tag reading Maria Lopez. It felt surreal, slipping back into service after months of freedom. But necessity drove her. At the hotel, Jamal ushered them to a secure suite. "Cameras are looped. We've got eyes on all entrances." He handed Elena an earpiece. "Stay connected." Amir reviewed files on Khalid. His compound in Dubai, old money from sovereign funds. He's recruiting mercenaries, ex-special forces. Elena scanned Ethan's phone, which was confiscated during the ambush. "Look, texts from a burner, coordinates in Dubai, and mentions of a shipment arriving tomorrow." Jamal cross-referenced. "Matches a container from Turkey, likely sarin components." A knock at the door. Jamal checked the peephole, then opened it to a trusted informant, a Saudi expat named Tariq, once a low-level diplomat. "You called." Amir nodded. "Khalid al-Saud. What's the word on the street?" Tariq sat, glancing nervously. "He's bold now. After escaping the last time, he promises to send his followers to paradise." "The summit attack?" "To frame rivals, seize power during chaos." Elena pressed. "Ethan, our contact. He said Khalid has leverage. Family's hostage." Tariq frowned. "Standard tactic, but there's a twist. Khalid's allied with a rogue CIA element, someone high up, feeding him summit security details." Amir's eyes narrowed. "The mole Ellis mentioned." As Tariq left, Elena felt the pieces aligning. "We can't trust anyone fully. Not even Ellis until we vet this." Jamal agreed. "I'll run traces on Ellis's team." Meanwhile, Elena works the floor. Listen for accents, whispers. In the restaurant, Elena served tables, her ears tuned to conversations. The elite crowd, diplomats, business people, chattered about the summit. One group, speaking Arabic, caught her attention. "The drone tech is ready. Khalid approves." She froze, then casually refilled their water, committing faces to memory. Back upstairs, she reported, "They're here. Planning drop points." Amir pulled up hotel cams. "Got them. Suite 1502. Jamal hacked the feed, audio, discussing sarin dispersal patterns. The revelation hit hard. Khalid's reach extended to New York. Elena's mind raced. "We need to intercept that shipment." "But Dubai's too far." Amir smiled grimly. "Not if we fly tonight. Ellis can arrange a jet." But as they prepared, Ethan's burner buzzed in Elena's hand. A message. "They know you're at the Falcon. Evacuate." Alarms blared. Fire system triggered. Chaos erupted in the halls. "It's a diversion," Jamal yelled. They grabbed gear, rushing to the service elevator. Gunmen burst into the lobby below. Elena drew her pistol again, covering their exit. In the garage, they piled into Jamal's armored SUV, peeling out as shots pinged off the vehicle. "Head to the airport," Amir ordered. Elena checked the rear view. "They're following." 2 cars. Jamal swerved through traffic, losing one tail. The other rammed them. Elena leaned out, firing precisely. Tire blown. Pursuers spinning out. At a private airstrip, Ellis's jet waited. They boarded, hearts pounding. As the plane lifted off, Elena looked at Amir. "Dubai. Straight into the lion's den." He nodded. "Together. Like always." En route, Jamal briefed them. "Khalid's compound. Fortified. Guards. Tech. But I know a weak point. From my old days." Elena studied blueprints. "We'll need disguises. And a way to free Ethan's family first. Gain his full cooperation." Amir contacted Ellis mid-flight. "We're heading to Dubai. Send backup?" "Negative," Ellis replied. "Too hot. But I'll provide SAT intel." Doubt crept in. Was Ellis the mole? Elena pushed it aside. Focus on the mission. Landing in Dubai under false passports, the heat enveloped them. A contact met them with a van. "Welcome to hell," he said. As they drove toward the compound, Elena felt the stakes rise. Khalid's threat was real, the clock ticking to the summit. One wrong move, and Sandstorm would rise again. The Falcon Hotel loomed over Manhattan like a sentinel, its glass facade reflecting the bustling city below. Elena adjusted her uniform in the staff locker room, the fabric familiar yet foreign after months away. Under her alias Maria Lopez, she blended seamlessly with the servers, her Harvard-trained linguistic skills now a tool for eavesdropping rather than diplomacy. Amir and Jamal had set this up perfectly. She would work the evening shift in the lounge, where diplomats and business people mingled, potentially leaking details about Khalid's plans. Amir watched from the security room, screens flickering with camera feeds. "Be careful," he said through her earpiece. "Informants confirmed Khalid's men are in the city. One might be here tonight." Jamal nodded beside him, fingers flying over keyboards. "I've got overrides on all systems. If anything goes wrong, I can lock down floors." Elena stepped into the lounge, tray in hand, her posture professional. The room hummed with conversations in multiple languages, English, Arabic, and French. She scanned faces, recalling the group she had overheard earlier. 3 men in tailored suits sat at a corner table, speaking in hushed Arabic tones about shipments and timelines. She approached, smile fixed. "Good evening, gentlemen. May I refresh your drinks?" The leader, a sharp-featured man with a neatly trimmed beard, looked up. His eyes lingered, appraising. "A bottle of your finest scotch. And make it quick." His accent was thick, Saudi-inflected. As she poured, she caught fragments. "The drones arrive in Dubai tomorrow. Khalid wants confirmation on the sarin mix." Her pulse quickened. This was gold. But then the man leaned back smirking. "You understand us, don't you? Most Americans don't bother with Arabic." Elena kept her expression neutral. "I'm here to serve, sir." "Another round?" He chuckled, exchanging glances with his companions. "I'll bet you $1,000, but you can't take our order in proper Arabic. Prove you're not just furniture." The challenge echoed Amir's original bet, but this felt sinister. Through the earpiece, Amir whispered, "It's a test. They suspect leaks. Play along, but watch for traps." Elena met the man's gaze. For authenticity, she replied in flawless Arabic with a Riyadh dialect. "What would you like to order, sir? Our specials include seared scallops or Wagyu steak." The man's smirk faded, replaced by surprise. His companions shifted uncomfortably. "Impressive. Where did you learn?" "Self-taught," she lied smoothly, switching back to English. "Will that be all?" He reached into his jacket, pulling out a small device, a wireless microphone disguised as a pen. "Actually, one more thing." He placed it on the table, subtly activating it. "Repeat after me. The summit will fall." Elena's blood chilled. This wasn't a bet. It was an interrogation. If she complied, her voice could be used for deep fakes or worse. Amir's voice urgent in her ear. "He's recording. Stall. I'm sending security." She smiled politely. "I'm sorry, sir, I don't understand. Perhaps you meant the dessert menu?" The man frowned, snatching the device. "You think you're clever. Khalid warned us about loose tongues." Suddenly, alarms blared. Jamal's diversion, a simulated power surge. Lights flickered, guests murmuring in confusion. Elena used the chaos to slip away, weaving through tables toward the kitchen exit. But the man followed, grabbing her arm. "Not so fast. Who sent you?" Amir burst from a side door, disguised as a manager. "Is there a problem here?" His presence commanded attention, the informants scattering. The man released her, eyes narrowing. "This isn't over." He melted into the crowd as security arrived. Back in the suite, Elena exhaled sharply. That was close. The mic. He was trying to frame me or extract intel. Jamal replayed footage. Facial recognition. He's Omar Khalid, nephew to our target. Low level but connected. The device was transmitted to a server in Dubai. Amir analyzed the signal. "We can trace it. This confirms the drone Sareen plan. They're testing loyalties here before the summit." Elena nodded, piecing it together. The challenge wasn't random. They know someone with Arabic skills who disrupted them before me. Khalid's casting a wide net. Jamal's phone buzzed. Ethan patched through securely from the safe house. "I overheard similar tactics in Beirut. Khalid uses bets to identify threats. Your response matched descriptions from the old operation." Amir leaned forward. "Ethan, coordinates for your family?" "Sent. But hurry, they move them often." The group planned the next steps. "We extract Ethan's family first," Elena insisted. "He'll give us inside access to Khalid's compound." Jamal agreed. "I have contacts in Beirut. We fly there, then to Dubai." But as they prepared, a new alert. Hotel sensors detected intruders on the lower levels. "They're back," Jamal said. "Omar's team." Gunfire echoed from the lobby. Amir grabbed weapons from a hidden cache. "Elena, take the service stairs. Jamal, cover me." Elena moved swiftly, earpiece crackling. "Amir, don't play hero." In the stairwell, she encountered a gunman. Instinct kicked in. She disarmed him with a precise strike, learned during her fugitive years, then zip-tied him silent. Reuniting in the garage, they sped away. "That encounter bought us time," Amir said. "Omar will report back, delaying Khalid." At the airstrip, Ellis's jet idled. Boarding, Elena reflected. Returning to New York had reignited the fire. The initial encounter wasn't just a repeat, it was escalation, drawing them deeper into Khalid's web. En route to Beirut, Jamal briefed. "Ethan's family is in a warehouse district. Small guard detail." Elena studied maps. "We go in quietly. No casualties if possible. Eid's approaching. Streets will be crowded." Amir squeezed her hand. "We've got this." The plane descended, the Middle East's lights twinkling below. New York's encounter had set the stage. Now, the real battle began. The jet touched down in Beirut under the cover of a starless night, the humid air thick with the scent of sea salt and distant spices. Elena, Amir, and Jamal disembarked swiftly, melting into the shadows of the private hangar. Their contact, a grizzled former Lebanese intelligence operative named Hassan, waited with a nondescript van. Quickly, he urged in accented English, "The streets are watched during Eid preparations." They drove through the winding alleys of the warehouse district, the city alive with lanterns and murmurs of celebration. Ethan's family, his wife and young daughter, were held in an abandoned storage facility, guarded by Khalid's mercenaries. Jamal's intel pinpointed the location, a rundown building near the port, lightly defended but rigged with alarms. Elena checked her pistol, and the weight was familiar. We go in silence. No kills unless necessary. Civilians are everywhere. Amir nodded, his face set in determination. Jamal, hack the perimeter cams. Hassan, flank the east entrance. They approached on foot, blending with late-night pedestrians. The warehouse loomed, its rusted doors guarded by two armed men smoking cigarettes. Elena signaled, and Jamal deployed a drone jammer, disrupting signals. In a coordinated rush, Amir and Hassan subdued the guards with chokeholds, binding them quietly. Inside, the air was stale, crates stacked high. Ethan's wife Mira huddled in a makeshift cell with their daughter. "Who are you?" Mira whispered, eyes wide. "Friends of Ethan," Elena replied softly. "We're getting you out." As they unlocked the door, footsteps echoed. A figure emerged from the shadows. A tall man with silver-streaked hair, resembling the late Richard Vaughn. Elena froze. Richard, the corrupt State Department official tied to Sandstorm, had been eliminated months ago. This man was his spitting image, but leaner, with a scar across his cheek. "Victor Caldwell's brother," Jamal hissed. "No, Richard Vaughn's." Intel missed this. His twin, Elias Vaughn. Elias staggered slightly, reeking of whiskey. "You," he slurred, pointing at Elena. "Samantha, wait, Elena Reyes, the translator who ruined everything." Amir raised his pistol. "How do you know her?" Elias laughed bitterly, pulling a flask from his coat. "Richard told me before they silenced him. You overheard Sandstorm at the UN and stole the files. Now Khalid's cleaning up, starting with loose ends like you." Elena stepped forward, voice steady. "Richard covered up the plane crash and betrayed his own country. Why are you here?" Elias's eyes glazed. "Guarding hostages, Khalid promised me a cut, millions in crypto. But it's falling apart. Ethan flipped, didn't he?" Jamal checked for wires. "He's drunk but useful." Talk. Elias slumped against a crate. "Richard wasn't the mastermind. He was coerced. Khalid had dirt on him. Affairs, bribes. The real ghost is the mole in the CIA, someone close to Ellis." The revelation hit like a punch. Elena recalled Ellis's hesitations on calls. "Who?" Elias shrugged. "Don't know. But Khalid's using sarin drones at the summit to expose them. Force a confession or something. Chaos as cover." Suddenly, alarms wailed, backup triggered. Gunfire erupted outside. Hassan radioed, "More mercs incoming." Elena grabbed Mira and the child. "Move." They burst out the back, Elias stumbling behind. "Wait, I can help. I have codes for Khalid's Dubai safe." Amir shoved him forward. "Prove it later." In the van, Hassan drove erratically through traffic. Bullets shattered the rear window. Elena fired back, covering their escape. The child cried, and Mira soothed her. At a safe house in the hills, they regrouped. Elias, sobering up, spilled more. Richard handled the American side, falsified reports on the 1998 coup. Jonathan Reyes disrupted the sarin bomb and saved Faisal. Khalid never forgave. Sandstorm was revenge, siphon funds, arm extremists, destabilize the region. Jamal verified on his laptop. Codes check out. Access to Khalid's perimeter in Dubai. Elena confronted Elias. "Why betray your brother now?" Elias's face crumpled. "He was my twin. Khalid killed him to tie up loose ends. Framed it as suicide after your gala heist. I want payback." Amir eyed him warily. "You'll come with us." Monitored. As they prepared for Dubai, Elena felt the weight of ghosts. Richard's shadow lingered through Elias, unraveling deeper layers. The incident wasn't a coincidence. Khalid had placed Elias here, anticipating a rescue. Boarding another flight, Elena whispered to Amir. "This mole, if it's Ellis, we'll find out," he replied. "Together." In Dubai, the desert heat greeted them. Hassan stayed behind with Mira's family, coordinating extraction. The compound was a fortress, high walls, drones patrolling. Using Elias's codes, Jamal bypassed outer security. We're in. Summits in 48 hours. They infiltrated at dusk, disguised as a maintenance crew. Elena's heart raced as they navigated corridors. In Khalid's office, they found plans, drones rigged with sarin, launched during Eid prayers at the summit venue. But voices approached. Khalid himself is arguing with a holographic call. The mole confirms no interference. Proceed. Elena glimpsed the caller's face, blurred but familiar. Ellis? They retreated, but Elias tripped an inner alarm. Guards swarmed. Run, Amir yelled. A firefight ensued. Elena shot a drone mid-air and Jamal hacked doors. Elias redeemed himself, taking a bullet to cover their exit. Back at the van, Elias gasped. The mole, it's not Ellis, it's his deputy. Check the files. They escaped to a hideout. Jamal decrypted. Deputy Director Hale, Ellis's right hand, the betrayer. Elena called Ellis. We have proof. Hale's the mole. Summit's rigged. Ellis's shock was genuine. Sending teams now. Good work. As forces mobilized, Elena realized Richard's ghost, through Elias, had provided the key. The incident closed one chapter, but the battle raged on. The van screeched through Dubai's narrow streets, weaving between market stalls aglow with Eid lanterns. Elena gripped the wheel, her knuckles white, while Amir applied pressure to Elias Vaughn's wound in the back. Jamal monitored the rearview camera, spotting pursuing vehicles closing in. Elias gasped, blood seeping through the makeshift bandage. Left at the souk, lose them in the crowd. Elena swerved into the bustling marketplace, horns blaring as vendors scattered. The air was filled with shouts in Arabic and the scent of spices. Their pursuers, two black SUVs, rammed through barriers, gunfire cracking the night. Jamal returned fire from the passenger window, shattering a taillight on the lead vehicle. Head to the Old Alliance safe house, Jamal directed. Sophia's waiting. She's been coordinating since New York. Sophia, Elena's former roommate from her fugitive days in Queens, had been pulled back into the fold. Once a graphic designer oblivious to the shadows, she had faced threats after Elena vanished 6 months ago. Khalid's men had interrogated her, but she held firm, feeding them false leads. Now, she worked undercover with Jamal's network, using her tech skills to track crypto flows. The van jolted over a curb, entering a labyrinth of alleys. Elena ditched the vehicle behind a dumpster, helping Amir carry Elias. They slipped into the throng of Eid celebrants, blending with families in traditional attire. Fireworks lit the sky, masking distant sirens. At the safe house, a nondescript apartment above a bakery, Sophia opened the door. Her eyes widened at the bloodied group. Elena! Get him inside. She had changed, shorter hair, a determined edge from months of evasion. They laid Elias on the couch. Sophia fetched a medical kit, her hands steady. I was threatened after you left Queens. Khalid's goons thought I knew your location. Jamal recruited me, taught me encryption. I've been monitoring Hale's communications. Elena hugged her briefly. I'm sorry I dragged you in. Sophia shook her head. We're family now. Ethan's family is safe in Beirut, thanks to Hassan. But Hale, he's the mole. Deputy Director, feeding Khalid summit blueprints. Jamal patched Elias up, the bullet grazing his side. You'll live. Now those files? Elias winced, pulling a USB from his pocket. Hale's transactions, millions routed to Khalid for the drones. As Jamal plugged it in, alarms pinged. Perimeter breach. They tracked us. Gunmen stormed the building below. Elena grabbed her emergency bag, passport, cash, burner phone, and her pistol. Out of the fire escape. Sophia led, clutching a laptop. I have backups in the cloud. They descended the metal stairs, footsteps pounding above. At the bottom, Ethan waited in a stolen car. Jamal's extraction. Get in. I owed you. Elena aimed her pistol at him warily. You set the trap in New York. Ethan raised his hands. Khalid forced me. My family's free now. You're doing. Let me redeem. Amir shoved him aside. Drive. Prove it. The car sped off as bullets ricocheted. Ethan navigated expertly, losing tails in the desert outskirts. I know Khalid's weak points. Grew up in Riyadh, like your father's alliance. Elena interrogated him en route. The 1998 coup. Jonathan saved Faisal with that sarin disarmament. You were there? Ethan nodded. Junior agent. Saw it all. Hale was Richards's handler back then, turned for money. Sophia chimed in. My traces show Hale meeting Khalid's nephew Omar in New York last week. That's how they knew about the hotel. The group reached a secondary hideout, a villa on the dunes, courtesy of Jamal's old Saudi contacts. Inside, they fortified, barred windows, motion sensors. Elias rested, his revelations flowing. Richard regretted it, tried to pull out, but Hale threatened exposure. Jamal decrypted the USB. Proof, emails, transfers. Hale sold CIA drone codes. Summit attack at Eid prayer. Drones release sarin over the assembly hall. Elena paced. We expose Hale to Ellis, but if backups are delayed. Amir contacted Ellis via secure line. Deputy Hale's the mole. Sending files now. Ellis's voice boomed. Confirmed. Arrest warrant issuing. But Khalid's compound, he's accelerating. Launch in 24 hours. Twist. Sophia's laptop beeped. A hack attempt. They're tracing us. Gunfire erupted outside. Khalid's elite team surrounded the villa. Surrender the drive. A voice boomed. Elena used her pistol to shatter a spotlight, creating shadows. Ethan, flank left. Sophia, jam their comms. The alliance fought back. Jamal sniped from the roof, downing 2. Amir and Elena covered the entrance, bullets whizzing. Ethan redeemed, tossing a flashbang to disorient attackers. Sophia hacked enemy drones, turning one against them, exploding a vehicle. Got it. In the melee, Elias grabbed a rifle, holding the line despite his wound. For Richard, the assault faltered as Ellis's backup, CIA Black Ops, arrived by chopper, rappelling down. Gunfire intensified, then silenced. Khalid's men retreated, leaving bodies. Ellis landed, shaking hands. Good work. Hale's in custody. But Elena spotted a fleeing figure, Omar, Khalid's nephew. He's escaping with a sample. Chase ensued. Elena pursued on foot, pistol drawn. Stop! Omar turned, firing. She dodged, returning 3 shot, wounding his leg. The sarin, handed over. He sneered. Sandstorm lives. But Ethan tackled him, securing the vial. Back at the villa, alliances solidified. Sophia embraced Elena. From Queen's roommates to this. Ethan nodded gratefully. My debt's paid. Elias, bandaged, smiled weakly. Ghosts avenged. Amir pulled Elena aside. Our old bonds saved us. As dawn broke over the desert, Eid prayers echoed. The escape forged unbreakable ties, old alliances reborn in fire. But Khalid remained free, the summit looming. The fight continued. The villa on the dunes stood silent under the Dubai moon, its walls echoing with the distant call to prayer as Eid festivities wound down. Elena sat at a scarred wooden table, surrounded by the unlikely alliance, Amir, Jamal, Sophia, Ethan, and a recovering Elias Vaughn. The air hummed with tension. The rescued files from Elias's USB spread out like a map to hell. Jamal's laptop screen glowed, displaying decrypted documents that painted a horrifying picture of Sandstorm 2.0. Elena scrolled through the plans, her linguistics expertise picking apart the Arabic and English mix. This isn't just a repeat. Khalid has evolved. Drones equipped with sarin dispensers programmed to release during the summit's opening session in Riyadh. Targets: Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt. Leaders gather in the main hall, chaos during Eid prayers to amplify religious tensions, sparking uprisings across the region. Amir leaned over her shoulder, his presence steadying. Billions in crypto funding mercenaries from Yemen and Syria. Hale provided the CIA drone blueprints. That's how they're untraceable. Sophia, cross-referencing on her device, added, My traces show shipments of sarin precursors from black market labs in Turkey. Arrival in Riyadh tomorrow. If they deploy, thousands die, governments fall. Ethan, now fully committed after his family's rescue, nodded grimly. I saw the early signs in Beirut. Khalid recruited me because I knew your father's history. Jonathan Reyes and Faisal Hassan weren't just allies. They thwarted Khalid's first big play. Elena paused, a faded photo from the threat envelope in her hand. "Tell me everything." The 1998 coup attempt. Jamal, with his Saudi intelligence background, filled in. Riyadh, during the lead-up to Eid al-Fitr, Khalid's faction, extremists within the royal circle, planned to overthrow the moderates. They planted sarin bombs in key mosques, timed for prayers. Mass casualties to blame on foreign powers, seize control. Amir continued, his voice low. "My father, Faisal, was the asset who infiltrated. But the bombs, your father, Jonathan, the CIA attaché, disarmed the main one in the Grand Mosque, exposed the plot, saved hundreds during Eid celebrations. Khalid escaped, vowing revenge." Elias, propped on pillows, chimed in weakly. Richard knew. He was junior then, under Hale. They covered tracks and falsified reports as an accident. Jonathan and Faisal became legends in shadows, but Khalid never forgot. Sophia interjected. "That's the connection." Sandstorm 2.0 mirrors 1998, sarin, Eid timing, religious sites near the summit. Khalid wants poetic justice. Kill the successors of those who stopped him. A buzz interrupted Jamal's secure tablet. A video message, encrypted but forced through. Khalid's face appeared, bearded and stern, eyes burning with fanaticism. "Elena Reyes, Amir Hassan. You meddle in fate's weave. Your fathers stole my victory in '98. Now, witness the storm reborn. Riyadh will choke on poison as prayers rise. Surrender the files, or join the dead." The screen cuts to live feed. Drones in a warehouse and sarin canisters are attached. Then, a personal twist, a photo of Elena's old UN badge, smeared in blood. "I know your ghosts. Come to me, or the summit burns." Elena slammed the tablet down. "He's taunting us." Knows we're in Dubai. Amir gripped her shoulder. "Because of Hale, but Ellis arrested him. Interrogations ongoing." Ethan stood. "We can't wait. I have contacts in Riyadh who are old allies from Jonathan's network. We infiltrate the summit site and sabotage the drones." Jamal mapped it. Venue, King Abdulaziz Conference Center. Heavy security, but Eid crowds provide cover. Traditional garb, abayas, thobes to blend. Sophia volunteered. "I'll handle digital. Hack drone controls remotely." Elias coughed. "Take me. I know Hale's overrides can disable sarin triggers." Elena assessed the group. Past connections wove them together. Her father's legacy, Amir's vengeance. Jamal's defection, Sophia's loyalty, Ethan's redemption, Elias's atonement. "We do this, but smart, no heroes." They geared up, concealed weapons, comms earpieces, cultural disguises, and respecting Eid customs. Elena donned a black abaya, veil ready, and a pistol hidden. Amir is in a white thobe, looking like a Saudi business person. Elena reflected on being en route to Riyadh by private charter. "Our father's alliance started this." Jonathan teaches Faisal English phrases during stakeouts, sharing iftar meals in Ramadan. "Now we finish it." Amir smiled faintly. They bonded over justice. Like us. In Riyadh, the city pulsed with Eid energy. Families in finery, mosques overflowing, sweets exchanged. The team split. Elena and Amir recon the conference center. Jamal and Sophia set up a tech base in a rented apartment. Ethan and Elias scout drone drop points. At the center, under the guise of attendees, Elena overheard guards in Arabic. Extra patrols for Eid. But the air show, drones for fireworks. Amir whispered, "Cover for Khalid's attack." A close call, a security scan. Elena's forged ID passed, but a guard eyed her. "Sister, enjoy the blessings." She replied in dialect, "And to you, brother. Eid Mubarak." Deeper in, they spotted warehouse access. Inside, crates labeled as pyrotechnics, but scans revealed sarin signatures. Back at base, Jamal hacked feeds. Drones launch at prayer call. Hale confessed, "Override code here." But Khalid's video looped in Elena's mind. He's personal now, knows our names, histories. Sophia uncovered more. Khalid was at the '98 mosque, saw Jonathan disarm the bomb. Scar on his hand from shrapnel. Ethan added, "That's why sarin, symbolic weapon." Elias, improving, provided the following keys. Hale's files show Khalid funding Eid charities as fronts. Disrupt those, cut his local support. The revelation deepened. Sandstorm wasn't mere terrorism. It was a vendetta spanning generations, twisted by cultural and religious manipulation. As night fell, Eid fireworks burst. The team moved, alliances tested. Elena felt the past's pull, connections binding them against the storm. Victory neared, but Khalid loomed, ready to strike. The Riyadh safe house buzzed with focused energy as the team gathered around a large table cluttered with blueprints, laptops, and hastily sketched maps. The King Abdulaziz Conference Center loomed large in their plans, its sprawling layout projected on Jamal's screen. Eid celebrations outside provided a rhythmic backdrop of chants and drums, starkly contrasting the high-stakes strategy session inside. Elena stood at the center, her abaya discarded for practical jeans and a shirt, pointing to key entry points. The summit gala tomorrow night is our window. It's not just a dinner, it's Khalid's staging ground. Drones are hidden as fireworks displays, and Sarin is ready to deploy at midnight prayer. Amir nodded, his thobe sleeves rolled up. Security is tripled for Eid, but the gala invites VIPs across the region. We infiltrate as guests. Ellis confirmed fake credentials. Well, posed as a diplomatic couple from Jordan. Sophia tapped her keyboard, pulling up guest lists. I've hacked the RSVPs. Khalid will attend under an alias, Schmoozing Funders. His nephew Omar is listed too, probably overseeing the drones. Pacing renewed purpose, Ethan added. From my UN days, I know the center's back channels. Service tunnels under the hall are used for catering. We enter there and sabotage the drone controls. Elias, still pale but alert, leaned forward. Hales's overrides are in the files. I can turn off the sarin valves remotely once they are in. But Khalid carries a master key fob. Steal that, and the operation crumbles. Jamal, ever the tactician, outlined contingencies. Team split, Elena and Amir on the floor, mingling to get close to Khalid. Sophia and I are in a van outside, jamming signals and monitoring cams. Ethan and Elias hit the tunnels. Elena assessed risks. Eid crowds mean chaos, good for cover, but bad if sarin leaks. We prioritize evacuation protocols. No lone wolves, comms always open. Amir pulled up cultural details. Gala theme, Eid unity. Traditional attire is mandatory. Elena, you'll be my fiancée again. Isabel Laurent, art curator. It worked before, it'll work now. She smiled faintly, recalling the original gala heist. With a twist, I'll use Farsi and Arabic to eavesdrop on Khalid's circle. If he recognizes me, we abort. Sophia interjected. Digital side, I'll spoof drone signals to ground them. But if Khalid's fob overrides, we need it physically. Ethan volunteered. I'll snatch it. Pickpocket skills from field days. Elias nodded. And I'll handle the sarin. Neutralize with chemicals from my kit. Remember 1998. Jonathan used a similar compound to disarm the bombs. The plan solidified. Infiltrate pre-gala and plant bugs in Khalid's suite via service access. During the event, distract and steal the fob. Sabotage drones in tunnels. Extract before midnight. Jamal ran simulations. Worst case, alert triggers lockdown. We have smoke grenades for diversion, mimicking Eid fireworks. Elena emphasized ethics. Minimize harm. Khalid's men are pawns. They aim to capture, not kill. The summit's about peace. Let's not ignite war. As night deepened, they rehearsed roles. Elena and Amir practiced dances, blending into the gala's cultural performances. Step, turn, now whisper intel, Amir coached. Sophia drilled hacks. Firewall breach in under 2 minutes. Ethan and Elias synced tunnel routes. Left at the boiler, right to drone bay. Personal stakes surfaced. Amir confided in Elena. This gala mirrors our first meeting. Arrogant challenge, hidden depths. But now, it's for our fathers. She touched his arm. And for us. We end the cycle. Jamal shared a memory. Faisal during Eid 98. Broke fast with Jonathan under stars. Plotting the disarm. Said alliances transcend borders. Ethan reflected. I failed them once. Not again. Elias, bandaged, vowed. Richard's ghost rests if we succeed. Sophia, the newcomer, added fire. From queens to this, I'm in for the fight. Dawn brought action. They acquired disguises, elegant galabeas, hijabs, forged invites. Ellis radioed approval. Teams en route for backup. Hail spilled. Khalid's desperate, might accelerate. The team moved to a position. Elena and Amir checked into a nearby hotel as a couple, nerves taut. In their room, Elena adjusted her gown, pistol strapped discreetly. Ready? Amir kissed her forehead. Always. At the center, Eid lights twinkled and guests arrived in finery. Elena and Amir entered arm in arm, IDs scanning green. The gala hall shimmered, chandeliers, tables laden with dates and sweets, Qawwali music playing. Khalid arrived, charismatic in a bisht flanked by Omar. Elena overheard in Arabic, drones primed, fob secure. Amir steered her toward them. Time to mingle. Sophia whispered via earpiece. Cams looped, tunnels clear. The infiltration began, hearts pounding with the weight of past connections and future peace. Failure meant catastrophe. Success, redemption. The gala awaited its uninvited twist. The King Abdulaziz Conference Center glittered under the Riyadh night sky, transformed into a beacon of Eid elegance for the summit gala. Chandeliers cast warm light over swirling gowns and thobes, the air filled with the melody of traditional oud music and the aroma of spiced lamb and baklava. Elena, disguised as Isabelle Laurent in a flowing emerald gown that concealed her pistol, moved gracefully on Amir's arm. Their forged invitations had granted seamless entry, and now they navigated the crowd of dignitaries, eyes sharp for Khalid. Sophia's voice crackled softly in Elena's earpiece. Cams show Khalid in the East Wing suite. Omar is with him. Tunnels clear for Ethan and Elias. Impeccable in his embroidered bisht, Amir leaned close under the pretense of whispering affection. Stick to the plan. Mingle, then slip away during the performance. Elena nodded, her Farsi and Arabic ready to intercept conversations. They approached a cluster of guests where Khalid held court, his voice booming with false charm. Eid brings unity, but true peace requires strong hands, he said in Arabic, eliciting nods from financiers. Elena caught Omar's glance, his eyes narrowing slightly. She turned away, heart racing. He's suspicious. We need to move. As a Qawwali ensemble began their set, drawing attention, Elena excused herself for the powder room. Amir created a diversion by engaging Khalid in a talk about hotel investments, drawing from his Falcon Empire days. Elena slipped into a service corridor, shedding her heels for silent flats from her clutch. Ethan's voice guided her. Tunnels access via kitchen stairwell. We're in position. She descended, the cool air starkly contrasting with the gala's warmth. Meeting Ethan and Elias at the junction, they navigated the dimly lit passages, avoiding patrols. Drone bay ahead, Elias whispered, clutching his toolkit. The bay hummed with machinery, rows of drones disguised as fireworks props, sarin canisters attached. Elias worked quickly, inputting Hale's overrides to neutralize valves. 10 minutes till safe. Ethan hacked the control panel, downloading flight paths. Summit Hall targeted, release at prayer call. But alarms blared softly, a silent alert. Intruder detected, Ethan muttered. The guard's footsteps echoed. Elena drew her pistol. Hide the data. We fight out. They ambushed the first 2 guards, Ethan disarming one silently. But more arrived. Gunfire erupted in the confined space, bullets ricocheting off pipes. Above, at the gala, Jamal alerted Amir. Tunnels compromised. Extract now. Amir excused himself from Khalid, who smirked knowingly. Business calls, eh? Sophia jammed signals, delaying reinforcements. Elena, north exit, leads to the suite level. In the tunnels, Elena covered Elias as he finished. Done, sarin inert. They fled upward, emerging in a maintenance closet near Khalid's suite. Change of plan, Elena said. We grabbed the fob here. Ethan picked the lock. Inside the opulent suite, papers were scattered, a laptop open. Khalid wasn't there, but Omar was, rifling a safe. Omar spun, drawing a knife. You, the waitress's voice from New York. Elena froze. Her Arabic response at the hotel had betrayed her. "Drop it," she commanded in English, pistol raised. Omar lunged. Ethan tackled him, but Omar activated a panic button. Uncle knows your scent now." Elena snatched the fob from his pocket amid the struggle. "Got it." Guards burst in. Elena fired warning shots, shattering a vase. "Run!" They bolted to the balcony, leaping to an adjacent ledge. Risky, but Eid fireworks masked the noise. Below, guests mingled unaware, but a leak could panic thousands. Amir met them in the hall, pulling them into the crowd. "Khalid's searching. We have the fob. Drones grounded?" Elias nodded. "And data. But twist. Files show Khalid has a backup plan. Manual detonation via vest bombers in the crowd." The discovery hit hard. Not just drones, suicide operatives blended with Eid celebrants. "We need to scan faces," Sophia urged via comms. Jamal coordinated. "Ellis teams are arriving. Evacuate discreetly." But Khalid appeared on stage with a microphone in hand. "Friends, Eid Mubarak. Tonight, we forge new alliances." His eyes locked on Elena across the room. Recognition dawned. "Security! Intruders!" Chaos erupted. Guests screamed as guards advanced. Elena and Amir pushed through, using the fob to crash remaining drones outside. Explosions mistaken for fireworks remotely. Ethan and Elias flanked, firing suppressors to clear paths without harming innocents. "This way, to the gardens." Omar blocked them, wounded but furious. "You ruin everything." Elena aimed. "Surrender!" Sandstorms over, he charged. She shot his leg, dropping him. "For our fathers!" They escaped to the van, Sophia driving. "Ellis has the data. Bombers identified. Arrests underway." As sirens wailed, Elena exhaled. The infiltration succeeded, but the discovery of vest bombers added terror. Real risk to gala guests, which was averted narrowly. Khalid vanished in the melee, but his plans crumbled. Amir squeezed her hand. "We did it." But he's still out there. The unexpected layer deepened the threat. Alliances tested in fire. The night wasn't over. Pursuit beckoned. The van tore through the Riyadh streets, weaving past Eid revelers, scattered like shadows under the fireworks. Sophia gripped the wheel, her face determined as she navigated the chaos. Elena sat in the back, clutching the stolen fob, her pistol still warm from use. Amir reloaded beside her, while Ethan monitored a tablet for pursuing vehicles. Elias leaned against the side, his wound bandaged but seeping slightly. Jamal, in the passenger seat, scanned police frequencies. Ellis teams have the bombers in custody. Summit secured, but Khalid's vanished into the crowd. Elena exhaled, the gala's adrenaline fading into exhaustion. The drones are down, Saren neutralized. But that vest bomber twist, he was steps ahead. Amir nodded grimly. "Omar talked before we left him for the authorities. Khalid has contingencies everywhere." Sophia swerved around a barricade. "Tech confirms no active threats at the center, but our exit, cops are closing in, mistaking the gunfire for terrorism." Ethan suddenly tensed, his eyes on the rearview. 2 SUVs blacked out. Khalid's elites. The pursuit began in earnest. Bullets pinged off the van's reinforced panels as Sophia accelerated toward the city outskirts. Heading to the desert rendezvous, Ellis promised extraction. Elena leaned out the window, firing precise shots to turn off a tire on the lead vehicle. It spun out, crashing into a market stall, but the second closed in. "They're gaining." Jamal radioed ahead. "Backup en route. Hold on." The van burst onto the highway, the city lights giving way to endless dunes under the moon. Eid bonfires dotted the horizon, and nomad camps were celebrating late. Ethan directed Sophia, "Cut through the old souk ruins. Terrain will slow them." She veered off-road, the van bouncing over sand. The pursuers followed, their lights piercing the night. In the ancient marketplace remnants, stone arches and forgotten tents provided cover. Elena spotted movement. Bedouin locals startled by the chase, their camels scattering. "Truce for Eid?" Amir quipped, but tension laced his voice. Ethan suddenly yelled, "Stop." Ambush ahead. Sophia braked hard. Ahead, figures emerged, more of Khalid's men, armed and waiting. How did they know? Jamal demanded. Ethan hesitated, then confessed, his voice breaking. I leaked the route. Khalid still has my secondary contact. He promised my family's safety wasn't enough, threatened more. Elena's eyes widened in betrayal. You? After we rescued them? Amir drew his weapon on Ethan. Ziandiep Kep, double agent. Ethan raised his hands. Not fully. I fed him partial intel to buy time. But the fob, you have it. That's real. Elias groaned. Like Richard, coerced, then trapped. Gunfire resumed as the ambush closed in. Elena shoved Ethan down. Prove it now. Fight with us. Sophia reversed, but the van bogged in sand. Stuck. They abandoned the vehicle, using dunes for cover. Jamal led, his Saudi roots guiding them through the terrain. To the wadi, dry riverbed, lose them there. The group ran, bullets kicking up sand. Elena returned fire, dropping one assailant. Amir covered Elias, half carrying him. Sophia clutched her laptop, vital data intact. Ethan redeemed in the moment, tossing a grenade from his pack, stolen from Khalid's arsenal. It exploded, creating a sandstorm diversion. That buys minutes. But Khalid appeared on a dune crest, silhouetted against the moon, megaphone in hand. Reyes, Hassan, your father's meddling ends tonight. Surrender, or Eid sees more blood. His voice echoed, twisting cultural sanctity. Elena shouted back in Arabic, your storm fails, Khalid. Like 1998. He laughed. That bomb was child's play. This is destiny. More men advanced. The team reached the wadi, sliding down embankments. Jamal spotted Salvation, an armored jeep approaching fast, lights flashing. My contact. The jeep skidded to a halt, door opening. A figure in tactical gear beckoned. Get in. It was Hassan from Beirut, Jamal's old ally. Ellis rerouted me. Chopper inbound. They piled in, Hassan gunning the engine. Khalid's forces fired, but the armor held. Ethan took a grazing shot to the arm, gritting through. I deserve it. Elena bandaged him quickly. Why the double play? Ethan sighed. Khalid approached after the UN. Promised riches, then threats. I strung him along, leaking half-truths. But when you saved my family, allegiance shifted. Amir eyed him, suspected from New York, but proof now. Sophia checked tech. Fob's codes confirm. All contingencies offline. Summit safe. Hassan drove toward a landing zone, chopper blades thumping in the distance. Khalid's vehicles pursued, but Hassan deployed caltrops, puncturing tires. At the LZ, Ellis's Black Ops team rappelled down, securing the area. Khalid retreated into the night, his taunts fading. Aboard the chopper, Elena confronted Ethan. You're done playing both sides. He nodded. Arrest me if needed. But I gave you the fob location. Twist in the plan. Elias vouched. Like me, coerced. Give him a chance. Jamal radioed Ellis. Ethan compromised but flipped. Valuable intel. Ellis responded. Debrief him. Khalid's network is crumbling. Arrests global. As the chopper lifted, dunes receding, Elena felt the weight lift. The escape through the desert, with its cultural echoes of ancient pursuits, had exposed the suspected ally. Ethan's twist deepened trust issues, but also forged redemption. Khalid fled, but was closer to capture. The alliance strengthened, ready for the endgame. The chopper rotors thumped rhythmically as it soared over the Riyadh skyline, leaving the chaotic dunes behind. Elena leaned against the cold metal wall, her body aching from the desert escape. Amir sat beside her, his hand on hers, while the team, Sophia monitoring her laptop, Jamal coordinating with the pilots, Ethan nursing his arm wound, and Elias resting fitfully, processed the night's revelations. Ethan's double play had nearly cost them everything, but his grenade diversion and final stand had tipped the scales. Khalid had slipped away again, his taunts echoing in the wind, but the fob and data they secured promised to unravel his empire. Ellis's voice came over the comms. Landing at a secure base outside the city. Debrief immediately. Backup teams have locked down the summit. Bombers neutralized. Drones scrapped. The chopper touched down at a nondescript military compound, floodlights cutting through the pre-dawn haze. Director Ellis waited on the tarmac, a tall figure in a crisp suit, flanked by armed agents. His silver hair gleamed under the lights, his expression a mix of relief and fury. "Reyes, Hassan, good to see you in one piece. Inside, now." They filed into a briefing room, concrete walls lined with screens displaying real-time feeds, arrests in Dubai ports, frozen crypto wallets, and satellite images of Khalid's fleeing convoy. Ellis shook hands firmly. "Your work saved the summit. Leaders are proceeding with heightened security." Eid prayers went uninterrupted, thousands spared. Elena placed the fob and USB on the table. Proof of everything. Hale's betrayal, sarin plans, vest bombers. But Khalid's out there, and Ethan's intel suggests a deeper network. Ellis eyed Ethan warily. "You, double agent?" Ethan met his gaze. "Coerced, sir, but I flipped. The data confirms Hale was the linchpin, sold secrets for years." Sophia plugged in her laptop, projecting files. Transactions link Hale to Khalid's funds. And this, communications with an inner circle mole. Someone is still active in your team. Ellis's face hardened. "Impossible. We vetted everyone." Jamal interjected. "Not deep enough. Look, encrypted chats from the fob. Codename Shadow, coordinating the ambush." Elias, wincing as he sat up, added, "Richard mentioned Shadow in his notes. High level, access to summit protocols." An alert flashed, anomalous signal from within the base. Ellis barked orders. "Lock it down. Find the source." Agents scrambled. Elena felt unease. If Shadow's here. Gunfire erupted outside. Screens flickered, hacked. Khalid's face appeared on monitors. "Ellis, old friend, you think arresting Hale ends it?" Shadow activates Phase 3. The room plunged into lockdown, doors sealing. Ellis drew his sidearm. "Traitor among us." Chaos unfolded. An agent burst in, Lieutenant Kane, Ellis's deputy, firing wildly. For the storm, Elena dove behind a console, pistol drawn. Amir shielded Sophia. Jamal returned fire, wounding Kane's leg. "He's Shadow," Kane laughed maniacally. Khalid promised a new order. "Summit's just the start, global destabilization." Ellis advanced, gun steady. "Why, Kane. Years of service, money, power. Hale recruited me after 98, covered the coup mess." Ethan lunged, disarming Kane partially, but took a shot to the shoulder. Elias tackled him entirely, zip-tying wrists. "Like my brother, greed destroys." Alarms wailed, base breach. Khalid's mercenaries stormed the perimeter. "They're here for the data," Sophia yelled, uploading backups frantically. Elena and Amir joined the fight, moving to the corridors. "We hold them off," Amir said. Agents clashed with intruders. Elena picked off 2 with precise shots, her training shining. Flank left, Jamal rigged explosives from base supplies, blasting a breach closed. Sophia hacked defenses, turning turrets on attackers. Ellis coordinated. Evac choppers inbound. Secure the prisoners. But Khalid emerged in the fray, masked but unmistakable, leading a squad. "The fob, give it," Elena faced him. "It's over, Khalid. Your network is exposed." He charged. She sidestepped, firing, grazing his arm. Amir tackled him, wrestling for control. "For our fathers," Khalid snarled. "They stole my destiny." Ellis arrived, cuffing him. "Destiny ends in chains." The battle subsided as more CIA teams arrived, mopping up remnants. Kane and Khalid were secured. Hale's confessions corroborating everything. In the aftermath, Ellis debriefed. Network dismantled, arrests in 10 countries, crypto seized, mercenaries disbanded. Summit proceeds safely. Elena pressed. Global impact? Ellis nodded. Saudi stability reinforced, extremists fractured. Peace talks accelerated. No more shadows. Ethan, bandaged, faced judgment. "I'll testify. Redeem what's left." Elias agreed. "Us too." Sophia smiled. From roommates to revolutionaries. Jamal clasped Amir's shoulder. Faisal's legacy honored. The Eid sun rose as dawn broke, and Elena and Amir stepped outside. The dismantling is complete, networks shattered. But scars remained, alliances forever changed. Peace beckoned, fragile but real. The secure base outside Riyadh transformed into a hive of activity as dawn broke, casting long shadows over the compound. Elena stood at a window, watching helicopters lift off with captured operatives, including the subdued Kane and a defiant Khalid al-Saud. His arrest marked the end of an era, but the global ripples were just beginning. Director Ellis paced the briefing room, coordinating with international agencies via encrypted lines. Interpol alerts issued. Khalid's network is fracturing. Assets frozen in Switzerland. Safe houses raided in Paris and Istanbul. Amir joined Elena, his expression a mix of triumph and weariness. We did it. Sandstorm buried, but Ellis interrupted, his voice grave. Not quite. During the transfer, Khalid escaped. Convoy ambushed. Inside job, remnants loyal to him. He's in the wind, but wounded from your shot, Elena. The news hit like a sandstorm. Elena clenched her fists. How? We had him. Backup teams pursuing, Ellis assured. Drones and satellites tracking. A global search was launched, and the UN Security Council was involved. Rewards posted in every language. Sophia pulled up news feeds on her laptop. Look, headlines exploding. Al Jazeera reporting foiled the plot at the summit. Stock markets are stabilizing in the Gulf, but tensions are rising with Iran denying involvement. Jamal analyzed intel. Consequences: Saudi government purging extremists from ranks, inspired by the exposed 1998 cover-up. Peace talks accelerated. Israel and Palestine envoys meeting under Eid truce auspices. But uprisings quelled in Yemen. Khalid's funding cut means rebel groups are splintering. Ethan, bandaged and under guard, spoke up. My testimony will seal it. Hale and Kane spilling everything. Decades of betrayal. CIA reforming oversight. Elias nodded weakly. Richard's files corroborate. Global reckoning. Indictments for war crimes. From The Hague. Elena faced Ethan, her anger simmering. You nearly doomed us. Double-crossing for what? Ethan's eyes filled with regret. Fear. But in the desert, throwing that grenade, I chose right. He paused. Let me help pursue Khalid. I know his hideouts. Amir considered. He sacrificed, took that bullet. Forgiveness? Elena hesitated, recalling her father's lessons on redemption. One chance, but monitored, Ellis agreed. You'll coordinate from here. Khalid's likely heading to the empty quarter, Bedouin allies there. The pursuit began immediately. Ellis dispatched teams, but Elena insisted on joining a recon unit. I started this with a restaurant challenge. I'll end it. Amir accompanied, their bond unbreakable. They boarded a transport to the desert edge where satellite imagery showed anomalous movements, convoys masking as Eid caravans. En route, global impacts unfolded via reports. EU sanctioning Khalid-linked firms, Sophia radioed. US freezing billions in sovereign funds. Middle East alliances shifting. Saudi and UAE uniting against extremism. Jamal added. Political fallout. Ministers resigning in Riyadh. Investigations into 1998 coup. Your fathers honored posthumously. Jonathan Reyes and Faisal Hassan. Heroes unveiled. At the forward base, amid swirling sands, Elena geared up. Khalid's scar from 98 shrapnel makes him identifiable. Ethan provided coordinates. Cave network near Rub al-Khali. He stashed weapons there. The team moved at dusk, blending with nomads with night vision and cultural disguises. Drones scouted ahead, spotting heat signatures. Amir whispered to Elena, "This pursuit, it's personal, but for peace we capture alive." They infiltrated the caves, echoes of Eid chants from distant camps. Guards patrolled. Elena silenced one quietly, her skills honed. Deeper in, Khalid huddled, bandaged arms slung, dictating to aides. Regroup. Sandstorm evolves. The team struck. Gunfire flashed in the dim light. Elena advanced, pistol raised. Khalid, surrender. He turned, eyes wild. Rhea's spawn. Your father stole my future. Amir flanked. And you murdered ours. It's over. Khalid drew a hidden blade, lunging. Elena dodged, disarming him with a kick. Ethan arrived, cuffing him. For the families you shattered. But twist, Khalid smirked. Shadow lives. Hale was a pawn, the real head escapes. Ellis radioed. False. All accounted. Escorted out, Khalid ranted. Global chaos is inevitable. Back at base, interrogations began. Khalid's capture triggered waves. Networks fully dismantled, allies turning states evidence. Global consequences mounted. UN resolutions for anti-terror funding and Middle Eastern coalitions were formed. Amir made a decision. My empire, Falcon Group. I'll divest half and fund the guy's expansion. Anti-terror training, refugee aid. Elena smiled. From millionaire bet to billions for good. Ethan, cleared partially, chose exile. I'll vanish, but thank you for forgiveness. Elias recovered, testifying remotely. Closure. As pursuits ended with Khalid's imprisonment, Elena and Amir watched the sun set over dunes. Global peace is tentative, but stronger. Their chase over, legacies secured. The Amalfi Coast villa bathed in the soft glow of a Mediterranean sunset, its cliffs overlooking the azure sea that stretched endlessly toward the horizon. 6 months had passed since Khalid al-Saud's capture in the Riyadh dunes, his global network dismantled in a cascade of arrests and frozen assets. Once again under the alias Isabella Moretti, Elena Reyes stood on the terrace, a gentle breeze ruffling her hair. The world had changed. Middle Eastern alliances strengthened, with Saudi Arabia leading reforms against extremism, inspired by the exposed truths of 1998 and Sandstorm's fallout. Global consequences rippled outward. UN funds were redirected to counter terrorism, and seized billions bolstered refugee programs. Amir Hassan, now Alessandro Rossi, approached from behind, wrapping his arms around her. He had relinquished operational control of the Falcon Hotel Group, channeling profits into the expanded Adams Al-Fahad Initiative for International Peace. The latest report came in, he said, his voice calm. Our foundation trained 50 agents in cultural intelligence last month. Jonathan's and Faisal's methods are adapted for today. Elena turned, her eyes meeting his. It's working. But Khalid, life in prison, yet his ideas linger. Amir nodded. Trials are ongoing at The Hague. Hale and Kane testified, exposing the rot. Ethan's in protection, feeding intel on remnants. Elias found peace, starting a charity for coercion victims. Sophia had returned to New York, heading the initiative's tech division. Her queen's resilience turned to global good. Jamal remained in Dubai, overseeing anti-radicalization programs, his defection story inspiring defectors worldwide. Yet, amid the victories, a shadow loomed. During Khalid's interrogation, he had hinted at Sandstorm 3.0, a decentralized cell structure seeded before his fall. Elena and Amir had dismissed it as bluster, until an encrypted message arrived that morning, via a burner device hidden in a foundation donation box. Elena pulled it from her pocket. Look at this. Coordinates are in the empty quarter, and references to sarin stockpiles we missed. Amir frowned, activating the device's map. A new lead. Khalid planted it, taunting from his cell. The twist electrified them. Sandstorm wasn't dead. It evolved, perhaps under a new leader like Omar, who had evaded capture. We can't ignore it, Elena said, but no more running alone. Amir agreed. Well, alert Ellis, coordinate with the team. Their wedding the next day blended traditions. A simple ceremony under olive trees, Arab qawwali music merging with Italian violins. Sophia attended virtually, and Jamal in person as best man. Vows exchanged in English, Arabic, and Italian, symbolizing unity. Elena wore a white gown with embroidered thobe patterns, and Amir wore a tailored suit with a keffiyeh scarf. As they exchanged rings, Elena whispered, "From that $1 million challenge to this. Not charity, but partnership." Amir smiled. "I offered money. You chose justice. Now, we build together." The reception featured iftar-inspired dishes for lingering Eid spirit, guests toasting to peace. But midway, Jamal's phone buzzed. A confirmed sighting. Omar in the desert, moving stockpiles. Elena set down her glass. Our honeymoon waits. Amir nodded. Duty first. They mobilized quietly, leaving the villa for a private jet. Ellis met them in Dubai, and his team assembled. Sandstorm 3.0. Sleeper cells activating in Europe and Asia. Your lead cracks it. The pursuit resumed, but measured. Elena and Amir led reconnaissance, using cultural insights, blending into markets, decoding Arabic whispers. In a Moroccan souk, they cornered a courier, extracting codes. Global stakes heightened. Intercepted plots against Paris landmarks, Tokyo subways. Their actions prevented disasters, and alliances with Interpol yielded arrests. Back in Italy weeks later, Elena reflected on the balcony. We stopped the 3.0 seconds launch. Omar captured, cells disrupted. Amir joined her. But vigilance remains. The foundation expands, training programs worldwide. Elena turned down Amir's offer to fund it solely. No, raise it together. Donations from allies, not just your wealth. Justice isn't bought. He respected her choice. As equals. Their life balanced. Foundation work by day, quiet evenings discussing strategies. Sophia visited, sharing laughs over Queens's memories. Jamal sent updates from the field, and Ethan redeemed through anonymous tips. Hope bloomed. Middle East peace talks progressed, inspired by exposed truths. Elena and Amir planned expansions, schools teaching linguistics for diplomacy, echoing her Harvard roots. Yet a final envelope arrived, anonymous, with a single note. Storms brew eternal. A new coordinate hinting at remnants. Elena pocketed it. Another chapter. Amir took her hand. Together, we weather it. As stars emerged, their bond, forged in arrogance, tempered in justice, promised enduring hope. Redemption is not in endings, but in the continued fight. The world, scarred but healing, moved forward under their watch.